This is the greatest of all time camping meals I could possibly think of. Hey everybody, we're getting ready to head out. We found a campground that's got some really cool three-sided shelters. We're gonna cook up some awesome food. Along the way, we're gonna check out the flooding on the river. And thanks for joining us tonight for Blitz and Aaron Go Camping. We are headed over the river. The flooding is really extensive. Hopefully I can show you guys what that's all about. Well guys, I think we are officially lost. I don't know where my phone was taking me to, but where this entrance to this park is, I have no idea. All right, we finally made it. We're probably about, I'd say, 2 hours behind at this point. But I think we found our trail that's gonna go out to these shelters. Couldn't find the campground host, but I think we'll be in luck. We're gonna go get camp set up, maybe come back out to pack in the food, and we'll let you know how it goes. It is extremely windy tonight, so I'm glad we're gonna have this three-sided shelter to get out of the wind and hopefully make a video out of this. We'll see. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Would you look at that? We have a lakeside view. Check out that cabin. That's so awesome. Get you, buddy? There you go. Really? People even thumbtacks around here. Ready for some water, bud? Oh, hold on. Oh, don't want to lose that one again. I'll tell you a little bit more about that one later. We are here, we're at camp. We're running late, but man, is this gonna be relaxing tonight. We've got a freestanding tent with us tonight, so why don't we just go ahead and set it up under here. It'd be pretty cool to camp in a tent under this. So yeah, let's set up the tent. We got some firewood for cooking, and I can't wait to tell you guys what we are making tonight. It's gonna be the greatest of all time. I don't know if you guys have watched some of the other videos, but we finally found the infamous tent pole that I lost that one rainy camp. It ends up that it was in a buddy of mine's car. It had fallen out after we did an Ozark River canoe trip. And I finally just asked him on a whim, probably about 4 months later. He found the thing under his car seat. So really happy to have that one back. We don't have to whittle up a tent pole for the support right there. I'm going to need to relocate Blitz so we can get the tent set up. Come here, bud. Get on up. There you go. Can you see it? Oh, you itchy? Let's get you right there. Oh, that's the spot. Good boy. We'll give this a shot, see if we can't get set up under here, and if not, there's plenty of places we can go out here. Blitz loves standing on top of picnic tables. Here, you want to lay down, bud? Good boy. Hopefully those geese aren't making noise all night long. I'm already, I'm pretty tired of it already. Blitz is already finding a stick to play with. That's good, it'll keep him distracted while we're getting this sorted out with the tent. He always loves jumping in early. See, like I said, always jumping in early. Watch out, buddy. Watch out. Watch out, itchy boy. You want to get rid of the bandana? There you go. Is that better? We've got one of Blitz's favorite bandanas. It says Austin, Texas, where he was from. I think right here, this is Austin. Whoa, don't knock over the camera. It says East Siders, a cidery out of Austin. I thought it was itchy, but I guess it wasn't. We'll just throw that back on. Blitz is too funny. Whenever his bandana goes on, he knows that he's about to have fun and do something outdoorsy. There you go, buddy. There, go on, out. Good boy. There you go, buddy. We'll wait a little while before we get the sleeping bags out. Also got our sleeping pad. All right, cool. Now that we have camp pretty much set up, all the initial stuff that we need to do before dark, let's see what that lake's all about down there. We're just gonna bushwhack our way on down there, It's too close. We just got to check it out. All right, you ready? Blitz, are you ready? We'll take that as a yes. So it is one of the first days of spring. Let's see, let's go back up here, buddy. Come on. Can always be a little tough trying to navigate around deadfall with Blitz. Here, Blitz. There you go, buddy. Oh, very cool. I'm so glad we're checking this out. Ooh, watch out for all those prickers, bud. Man, if this was any farther into the spring, this would be totally impassable. Looks like we're on a little game trail right here. Blitz is trying to get through to the water. He's a thirsty boy. There seems to be some struggle over territory going on over here. What are they doing? Behave yourselves, y'all. There's these old barbed wire fences here that just pop up out of nowhere. You gotta watch out. I don't know if you've had your tetanus shot, have you, bud? Glad to be back, buddy. Blitz, you want to play with the stick? Come here. Go and get the stick. That's not a Blitz-sized stick. It's got mushrooms all over it. You get sick. How about this one? Go on, get it, bud. Get it. Oh, gonna take it in the tent. I see how it is. Let's bring it out here. Come here. All right, I just thought I would stop and take a second to breathe. Spring has sprung, and let me tell you, I'm not no spring chicken anymore. That last video that we did, where I carried out about 45 pounds out 2 miles, I was just hurting for days. I went to work and I could barely even bend over. I felt like an old man, and I'm getting up there, but I am not that old. Blitz, come here, bud. Now that spring has come upon us, I just thought I would have, hey, come here, bud. Good boy. There you are. You want to sit down? Come here. Come here. Good boy. Anyways, that last camping trip that we went on, it was absolutely brutal trying to go back to work the next day. So anyways, we found this place, a about a year ago online, and I've been wanting to come out and camp here. These shelters here are pretty unique for my parts. Now that we're all set up and ready to relax, I'm just going to take a pull off this here flask. Oh, not for you, bud. Yeah, so in here we've got Eagle Rare 10-year. There's a lot of bourbons that get a ton of hype out of them. You know, like Weller and Pappy Van Winkle and Blanton's and Buffalo Trace. This one is made by the Buffalo Trace Distillery, but hype aside, Eagle Rare is absolutely my favorite go-to bourbon. Can be pretty hard to find, but luckily I got a guy. Oh, you're the strongest boy in the world. Wanna break that one too? Ugh, I don't know if I want to burn this. It's all diseased. There are some hooks right here so you could set up a hammock if you wanted to. You can see one right there. I got my coat on it. And then another one right there. So that to me makes sense. But remember I found that thumbtack earlier? There are thumbtacks all throughout here. Yeah, so did they try to set up a tarp using thumbtacks? I don't I'm trying to CSI this thing, but I can't think of any reason why you would how these could be of use. While it's still daylight out, let's get the fire started. I've got a nice little camping beverage right here to enjoy. We've got Moose Drool Brown Ale by Big Sky Brewing. This is one that I've seen quite a few times on Base Camp Chris. I love watching those Sasquatch stories that he's always doing. Fun times. There right there is a perfect pour. So yeah, let's get this fire started. Maybe we can even do some cooking before it gets too dark. Seems like I'm always cooking in the dark with you guys. We're just getting a fire started like anybody would at camp. It's not going to be anything fancy. I'm not going to use a fire steel. We got our trusty Colgan's fire starters, and yeah, we're not out here doing a skills video. It's just a guy and his dog trying to cook up some good food and sit around the fire. There was some wood that's sitting in here. I just thought I'd use it as a base so it's not sitting on all these wet coals. We always use 2 of these. Nice. Yeah, that should do just fine. Alright, I totally trust this to get started on its own, so let's walk on out and see if we can see the sunset. Alright, hopefully you can see the sunset going down off in the distance. The sky has this really cool cotton candy pink color to it. Back behind this other shelter, you can see it's like super orange. Luckily, we got this nice open prairie right here where we can actually see something. We're not like stuck in the piney woods like we usually are. And this is pretty nice. It's something different than we usually do. We didn't hike out into the middle of nowhere, but then again, we do have the entire place to ourselves. There's 7 of those shelters like we're in right now. But considering the season hasn't even started and it's going to get down to about 35 degrees tonight, which might scare off a lot of people, yeah, we've got it all to ourselves. So I can see the fire off in the distance doing well. Let's head back to camp and I'm going to let you know what we're having for dinner tonight. Like I said, it's going to be the greatest camping meal of all time. Let's see something off in the distance. My eyes aren't picking it up. Wonder what it could be. Well, we'll get this guy back to camp, get him mellowed out. I'm not sure what he hears, but maybe he's just following his nose. Well, this fire is not doing the greatest. This firewood that we got, we would have been better off just foraging for ourselves. This stuff will not take. So let's see if we can get it stoked up. Awesome. That should get going good. Hopefully we can get some coals. All right, well, we are trying to get our fire relocated underneath this grill pad right here. Blitz is a little preoccupied. There's still an animal off in this gulch that's just kind of creeping on us a little bit. We're going to keep tending to this fire so we can get some hot coals and get to cooking dinner. All right, that is more like it. Here, you can get on up. There you go. You're on that picnic table. All right, so the big reveal on tonight's dinner, like I said, it's going to be the greatest camping meal of all time. We are making sloppy goats. Yeah, so we're going to do sloppy joes with ground goat meat. We're also going to make some fresh coleslaw. We're going to dice up some cabbage. We've got some carrots. And yeah, like I said, this is going to be the greatest camping meal of all time. Goat sloppy joes with coleslaw. Mwah. Magnifique. Let's get a bit of onion in the pan, and we'll cook that off along with the goat meat. We've got our Moor knife from Sweden, a proper bushcraft knife. We'll keep it on the chunkier side. So here we try to set up this shot when the smoke keeps getting in our eyes no matter where we move to. Alright, so that's all diced up. Blitz is awful curious. You don't like onions. We've got some carrot for you though, so just be patient. Pan's starting to get a little warm, but let's get it in the coals. Get it real nice and hot, and get a good sear on that goat. That's more like it. Hot enough for me. Right here we've got our Sea to Summit Camp Kitchen Toolkit 10-piece. We kind of pieced it together the way we wanted to. We don't use everything every time, but there's some really cool stuff in here that we love to use. Start out with a little bit of half and half olive oil and canola oil. While the onions are getting started, let's get this coleslaw going. We've got a carrot, which Blitz really enjoys. He's already coming to see what's going on. We've got a half of a small head of cabbage. Blitz is curious about the cabbage.
but we've already established he doesn't like that too much. But how about a carrot? There you go, bud. So yeah, we're just going to cut this nice and thin. A bit more carrot for Blitz. There you go, bud. I'll turn on the flashlight here so we can see what we're doing. We'd usually do matchsticks here, but let's just go ahead and do a dice. That'll work for me. We'll save the rest of this for Blitz so he can have a snack. He always gets awful jealous. And then we're going to put this into our little collapsible bowl right here. Now that these onions are starting to saute and brown off a little bit, let's get the ground goat in the pan. And there we are. I'd rather not attract any animals since there was something that was kind of stuck in our camp earlier. So let's go ahead and pack this out. We don't need any coyotes or raccoons getting any bad ideas. Yeah, so we're simply cooking this up just like it was ground beef. It'll have pretty strong flavor to it, not quite as strong as lamb. But as far as ground goat goes, you can just use it just like you would ground beef. For our coleslaw, this is going to be super easy. Go into our toolkit right here. We've got red wine vinegar. And one of our secret weapons, we've got Duke's mayonnaise. This stuff is awesome. Look at that. Smooth and creamy. Give your recipe a cup of twang. So yeah, I thought it was awesome that I found this little pouch right here. I have not opened this up yet, so let's see what we got going. Okay, seems simple enough. A little bit of garbage, but not much. So let's put, we'll say a 1/4 cup of twang on this. It's still mayonnaise. It's not something weird like Miracle Whip. Whoa. Almost lost the camera there. Let's come here. Alright, so we got the Dukes on there. Next we're going to do some red wine vinegar. Fresh ground salt and pepper. And a little bit of sugar. Alright. We've got our coleslaw all ready to go. The goat meat and onions are browned off. Let's turn this into a sloppy goat. We drained off a little bit of the fat, but it's still super lean. I'm going to do 1/4 cup of water. We've got some Sloppy Joe mix from McCormick. Oh man, I wish I would have brought some pickles. That looks pretty good. This recipe calls for 1 pound. We just have a 1/2 pound here, so let's do half a satchel of the Sloppy Joe mix. Well, that was an accident. We'll just do the whole packet of the Sloppy Joe mix. The other thing that we have for this is tomato paste. That kind of mixes with the water and turns it into more of like tomato sauce. I love these Italian style ones right here. It's like an old school toothpaste tube. Works really good for packing in, packing out. You don't have to have a can opener. And there we go. That should be good. Whoa! There I was trying to roll it back up, and I added some tomato paste to the campfire. Alright, give that a good stir. Oh man. If that tomato paste doesn't stain my pants, I don't know what will. We've got all of our ingredients in our Sloppy Joe mix. Now it just needs to simmer down and thicken up. We've got our coleslaw in here with the Duke's mayo and the red wine vinegar in there. I really like the idea of bringing this because we can just shake it up. Now that our Sloppy Joe mix has simmered down, we're going to toast off the brioche bun. Just throw that straight on the fire. Look at that beautiful brioche bun. We've got the coleslaw, but then we also have some imported Canadian all dressed ruffles, because I tell you what, we are all dressed up with absolutely nowhere to go. All right, would you look at that? This is the greatest of all time camping meals I could possibly think of. We've got goat Sloppy Joes. Oh man, that's awesome. Boom, that's a great sandwich. We're going to set this right back here. Don't want to tempt that guy too much. Imported Canadian ruffles, all dressed up. I just love these things. They're like salt and vinegar with ketchup and onion and everything you could possibly think of. I just love them. Last but not least, we've got a beverage that goes along with the theme for tonight's meal. What's this trying to get back to the goat back there? We've got another one from Big Sky. This one is called Space Goat Pale Ale. I don't know what the rationale behind this one is, but yeah, that goat's just rocking it in space. Whoa, that's a foamy one right there. Let's keep this boy away from the food. All right, everybody. All right, for tonight's fireside chat, I just wanted to talk about spring. Like I said earlier, spring has sprung, but baby, I ain't no spring chicken anymore. The last camping trip that we went out on, we hiked out a couple of miles with way too many pounds on our backs, and it just killed me for days and days. So we found a new place to go to, super mellow for me and the dog, and yeah, we had a really good night tonight. So anyways, with spring coming up, I just wanted to talk about reinvention. It is never too late to reinvent yourself. Here I am, 42, going on 43, and I've had so many different phases in my life. Some good, some bad, but really I love where I'm at now. So you should never be afraid to look inward and think, how can I positively change myself? Because change can always be good. Shortly before COVID happened, I was working a sales job, and I absolutely every hour of every day that I was awake, all I could possibly think about was work, 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 work. So shortly before COVID started, I left that career job. I just kind of, took a part-time job trying to figure out what I was going to do with this next phase in my life. And it happened to be very low stress, and I had not done anything like that for about 15 years. The company that I was working for part-time said that there could be further opportunities for me. So I stuck it out during the height of the pandemic, and eventually have found myself in, what could be, more of a permanent career type job where I could be there for 10 or 15 or 20 years or until I retire. And I absolutely love it. When I leave work at the end of the day, I punch that clock, and then I do not think about work until I walk back in that door and I punch that clock yet again. So anyways, I guess what I was just trying to say is don't be afraid to break out, get out of your comfort zone, do something that you might think would be beneficial to your mental health and your overall well-being. Because who knows, maybe for you, like me, you could find yourself doing something new that you really enjoy, and it's going to take a huge burden off your shoulders so you can sleep easy at night. Anyways, I hope that wasn't too disjointed and you enjoyed our fireside chat tonight. Thanks for sticking around. This was a really good time today. We're just going to hunker down over here, get warmed up. It's going to get down to about 35 degrees tonight, so me and the dog got to get bundled up, but luckily the cold has scared everyone off. I can see one faint light in a cabin across the lake, but really this is all ours for miles and miles. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate the fact that you are watching Blitz and Aaron go camping. We'll talk to you in the tent, or if not, in the morning. Good night. We are hunkered down in this tent under the three-sided shelter, and it's going to be a really warm night. It's great to be off the ground. We're on all these wood slats. The dog seems really, really warm. He's hiding underneath the spare sleeping bag right here. So yeah, we'll check back in with you guys in the morning. Hope you have a good night. We will too. Night, guys. I was making some crazy noises. Alright, bud. It's a little too early for all that noise. What do you think, bud? Let's go back to bed. Does that sound like a plan, Bubba Man? Oh. So I got woken up to a woodpecker that thought the fire pit was a log. So that was pretty unpleasant. Why don't we let the dog out and maybe it'll scare away the woodpecker. There you go, bud. You want to come back to bed? Come on, buddy. Come here. No? You don't want to get up, do you? You being serious? All right, well, we are up for real this time. Oh, hey, buddy. Give me a kiss. Yeah, that was an interesting night trying to sleep. I mean, starting at 4 or 5 in the morning, between the geese and the owls and the woodpeckers, I mean, I just could not get a break. So, we're gonna get on up. Oh, there we go, buddy. So we're gonna get on up. We'll break down camp real quick. And yeah, start our journey back home. Oh, the one thing that makes me really sad though is I didn't see a single place to get breakfast pizza on the way home. Ugh. Doing your morning yoga. Here, bud. There you go, buddy. You jump up. Good boy. Two tent poles. Hey, buddy. Hey, move your butt. Yeah, we followed a little trail down from one of the other shelters. And there's this nice little spot by the lake right here. All right, buddy. We better start our drive home. Oh, that's the life right there, isn't it, Blitz? I just found this on the side of the road. Wonder when this happened. Nobody to clean it up. There's all kinds of trash that goes way back into that gully. Not my preferred gas station pizza. All right, well, we were headed home. We just happened to see this little bar right here with a nice courtyard and a stage. Enjoy a stag beer at the Stag Tap before we head on home. Well, we're gonna go check out the river and we'll check back in with you guys soon. Hopefully we can see some of that flooding that's going on. It's pretty extreme in some areas. But, yep, cheers everybody. Alright everybody, we just wanted to sign off. Hopefully you can hear us. We're down at the river checking out the flooding that's going on right now. But thanks for joining us. We're going to get back to town and we will see you yet again when Blitz and Aaron go camping.